This visualization plots 12,515 global nuclear warheads, highlighting the United States holding roughly 41%. To protect them, they aren't kept in one central vault, but spread across a U.S. map in isolated locations to survive a single strike. But hiding a nuclear weapon creates a severe physical problem. Over time, the internal plutonium degrades, and the precision mechanical parts slowly begin to rust inside their silos. To keep them operational, the military is strictly required to periodically extract these aging devices and physically move them to specialized central facilities for maintenance. The very act of ensuring a weapon's survival forces the government to pull it out of its impregnable, decentralized bunker. That creates a terrifying logistical paradox. To reach those central facilities, these world-ending devices have to travel on the exact same public highways you use for your morning commute. An accident, or a coordinated attack, right in the middle of a populated civilian transit corridor could expose an entire city to catastrophic radioactive fallout. To mitigate this extreme vulnerability, the U.S. government created the National Nuclear Security Administration, or NNSA, a specialized federal agency whose entire mission revolves around moving the arsenal safely. The moment one of these weapons hits the road, the defense strategy shifts. It abandons the static concrete bunker and becomes a highly mobile, heavily armed active fortress. Imagine trying to pull off an impossible heist against one of these transports. Long before you even see the primary target truck, you have already crossed an invisible perimeter. High above the route, multiple helicopters provide continuous aerial surveillance. When one runs low on fuel, another seamlessly rotates into its place to guarantee zero blind spots from the sky. Down on the asphalt, plainclothes federal agents drive standard unmarked civilian cars, a full kilometer ahead of the payload, scouting for road anomalies and suspicious vehicles. Behind the scenes, these scouts coordinate directly with local police forces, quietly clearing traffic jams and routing the payload smoothly through tight city congestion. Before an attacker can even visually register the target vehicle, they are already operating deep inside a coordinated, multi-layered surveillance net. But let's say a heavily armed group actually manages to slip past those scouts and engages the physical escort. They would immediately run into the Bearcats. These are heavily armored transports housing elite commandos armed with assault rifles, shotguns, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. Vehicles connect to a central control center using 3 isolated radio lines. If attackers jam one signal, agents instantly switch to another to call for backup. This backup relies on highly randomized, encrypted code words to authenticate units. When local police arrive, the federal agents will actively refuse to interact with them until specific codes match. Attackers cannot simply put on fake police uniforms to bypass the crossfire and get close to the truck. Taking control of the highway requires defeating extreme localized firepower while simultaneously dismantling a highly redundant, spoof-proof communication network. Let's push this hypothetical scenario to its absolute limit. The attackers eliminate the commando units, breach the cab, and take control of the truck's steering wheel. At this point, they are sitting on top of 25,000 kilograms of hardened steel. The trailer is immune to heavy drills, resists industrial grinders, and can endure hours of direct fire without the heat ever reaching the warhead. But the truck has an ultimate mobility failsafe. If the system detects unauthorized movement, embedded explosives instantly detonate along the undercarriage, violently severing the axles. The wheels completely detach. Without them, dragging the 25,000 kilogram steel block is impossible for any standard tow vehicle. NNSA engineers turned the transport's own massive weight against any potential thief. The moment the truck is hijacked, it becomes an immovable, indestructible roadblock. Now the truck is completely immobilized. The attackers grab their heavy tools and attempt to pry open the stationary cargo vault itself. First, they'll find that nobody on the road can help them. Even the elite NNSA guards are intentionally locked out. They do not carry the electronic keys to open the container. If intruders forcefully puncture the vault doors, an automated internal booby trap triggers instantly. High-pressure nozzles coat the attackers in a thick, highly adhesive foam spray that permanently glues them in place. If someone manages to survive the foam, the container deploys its final lethal countermeasure, an automatic electrical shock system, pumping out 6 times the voltage of a standard household outlet. The inner sanctum is designed to actively incapacitate anyone who manages to survive the exterior gauntlet. Stepping away from hypothetical heists, the reality of these high-stakes operations is actually quite straightforward. The United States has been running these transport missions on public soil for decades. Across thousands of highly vulnerable trips, the U.S. has never lost a convoy, nor have they ever suffered a successful breach. The physics of the atomic bomb often get all the attention, but the true marvel of the nuclear age is the flawless logistical and tactical engineering required to safely move one down an interstate highway at 60 miles per hour.